Good afternoon. Let me just make sure I'm good here. And it looks like I am. And of course I forgot to check volume. Get that volume up so you can hear me. So good afternoon, Carol Buckalew with Inky Stampers. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And I realize that it has been a while since I've done a fun fold on one of my lives. So today we have a fun fold and we have an easel card. So this card, you know, folds up to fit in a standard A2 size envelope. And then when you send it to the recipient, it props up here on an inside sentiment. This sentiment is popped up with Stampin' dimensionals. So, you know, it becomes an easel card. I'll turn it here so you can see the profile. And then it will fold flat to go in an envelope. So, super easy fun fold to make. And we're going to use some new products here. So another sneak peek. I've been offering sneak peeks of upcoming products from the new 2024-2025 annual catalog. That catalog will go live on May 1st for customer orders. If you'd like to know how to get your hands on some of the new products early, just reach out to me at inkybstampers@gmail.com and I'll tell you how you can do that. Hey Sharon, hello Faith, thank you so much for joining. So we have an easel fun fold today. My video is blipping, I'm not sure why. It kind of never fails. It just started raining here. I don't think that's the reason. It's just a light spring shower. But anyway, hopefully the video is not an issue for you guys. You can see me okay. So as I mentioned, I'm using some products from the new catalog. And in particular, the Unbounded Beauty Sweet Collection, which is awesome. So that collection, that Sweet Collection, actually has two bundles in it. The Flowers of Beauty bundle, and so a stamp set and dies. And I have used these little flower dies for my card today. And I've used from the stamp set, these are two-step stamps. If you're not familiar, you would stamp the detailed image first and then stamp the fill. So like, you know, I'm just doing the leaf from this stamp set. And so I'll be stamping the detailed image, inking up again, stamping off once, and then stamping the fill inside of the leaves. I didn't use any of the other images from this particular stamp set. And then the other bundle included in that suite is the Unbounded Love bundle. And this bundle is, I think I counted, yeah, there's 25 sentiments in this stamp set. And they're amazing sentiments. They're really awesome. The script is beautiful. And then look at the dies that come in this bundle, which are amazing. There's all these wonderful sentiment label dies. And then there's a few, I did cut out two of these little detailed leaves for our card today. And then there's some like little flower sprigs here that you could cut out as well. But if you didn't get anything else from this sweet collection, get this die set because these dies are amazing. They really are. And so they will fit, you know, all of the different sentiments here in the stamp set. And then I also used a little bit of the Unbounded Beauty 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. Now I've cut these sections into half sheets. They do come 12 by 12. And these are the prints. And let me just look at the colors here. The colors in this paper are Berry Burst, Calypso Coral, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Pretty Peacock, Shy Shamrock, and Summer Splash. So, gosh, do we have all of the new colors in this paper? Almost. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, all the new colors are in this paper. And so it's just beautiful. And then here is the flip side of the paper. It does have Faith in it. Faith, and I use that sentiment on a card. But the secondary sentiment that goes with the faith sentiment says, faith is being sure of what we cannot see. And I just love that. And I've already used it on a card. This is the flip side of the paper, and isn't it beautiful? Oh my gosh, it is just so gorgeous. So yeah, pretty much all of our new colors in here, plus a few other colors. So let's get started. We're going to do a little bit of stamping first, and then we can put our card together. I did some pre-assembly so that you wouldn't have to, you know, see me stamp a million, or rather assemble a million little tiny flowers. But I did use those label dies from the Unbounded Love die set, and I thought this little oval, scalloped oval, was really, really sweet. And then I just used for the inside of the card, this will be our easel stop, a sentiment label in a rectangle with rounded corners. So just really, really beautiful. So let's go ahead. We're going to stamp our sentiments in Berry Burst. And then we'll stamp a few little leaves, and then we can put the card together. Yeah, the flip side of that paper, I like them both. And the new peach pie color is amazing. I love peach. And I love peach with dark browns, you know, so early espresso and peach. I haven't made a card yet with those color combinations, but you can bet I will be. So I'm just going to ink up in Berry Burst here. And you know what? I just got a little too aggressive inking my stamp up there. So I'm just going to give that a wipe off and try again, because I do not want to, I didn't cut two sentiment labels. I usually do, but I didn't this time. So let me just just tap lightly. Don't do like I did the first time. I mashed it into the ink pad, and you shouldn't do that. And I'm just going to kind of use my grid paper here to line this up and get it centered and hopefully straight, and give it a nice press down. Yeah, me too, Faith. I just love the peach pie. It is just such a beautiful color. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing a card with some peaches and some earth tones and some browns. I think it'd be really lovely. Just haven't figured out what set I'm going to use to make that card with, but yeah. And then this is our inside sentiment, which also serves as our easel stop. And photopolymer stamps make lining up and stamping straight really easy. Once in a while I'll get it crooked, but the great thing about photopolymer stamps is that you can see through them. And so I just line the bottom of my words up with an edge of the card or the label, and you're good to go. So we've got our label stamped. Let me go ahead and get my Shy Shamrock ink out, and we're going to stamp a two-step stamp, a couple of leaves. Hey, Rosie, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. So we are using the Unbounded Beauty products from the new catalog for today's card. And the Unbounded Beauty paper as well. So this is the outline of the leaf. So this is the detail. Oh no, you're getting snow. We are having a spring rain shower. Just light rain. I'm sorry you're getting snow. Warmth is on its way though, Rosie. So that is the outline image. And then the fill image, let me get it turned around the correct way here. This is super easy to line up. Sometimes the two-step stamps can be a little frustrating. I am going to ink my stamp up. I'm going to stamp off once on my grid paper to get rid of that excess ink. And then I'm going to, sorry, I'm bringing this towards me just a little bit. But you can see that the fill stamps beautifully. And it actually, there's some white space in there. That's on purpose. The stamp leaves a few of the little highlights on the stamped out section. And I'm going to do this again on the inside panel, and I'm just going to stamp my detail here in opposite corners. And this is Shy Shamrock ink, which is a super pretty color. And the other thing about the new ink colors is that they all go really well together. As you can see from the paper I just showed you, they go awesome together. And just getting my head in here just so I can get this lined up. And we'll stamp that fill and do it one more time here. I know we complain that it's too cold, and then when it gets hot, we're like, oh no, it's too hot. But that's why I like spring so much. That's why I like season changes, because you get a little bit of a breather in the spring and the fall from the extreme cold and the extreme heat. And there we go. So that is all of the stamping we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to go ahead and get my ink pad put away here. And we can go ahead and start putting together our card. So our card base is a 8.5 by 5.5 inch of the peach pie cardstock. And it is scored at 2 1/8 inches and 4 1/4 inches. So the 4 1/4 is the half fold, and both of these score lines are mountain folds. So I'm going to go ahead, and when I say mountain, you can see that it forms a little peak or a little mountain, right? Go ahead and get this lined up, and we'll give it a burnish here with a bone folder. And I'm just making sure that my edges are lined up here. Move my stuff out of the way so I don't drop everything on the floor. One of the dogs just got under my desk. It's probably Maisie. She likes getting under the desk. And then the 2 1/8 score line is also a mountain fold. And I'm just going to make sure that my edges are lined up there and they look pretty good. And I'll give that a burnish with my bone folder. And for the front, I've got a mat in Berry Burst, and then a panel of the Unbounded Beauty paper in this peach pie print, and it's white and peach pie. And I'm not real sure if that's Berry Burst or Petunia Pop. I don't think it's Petunia Pop. Petunia Pop has a very kind of purplish pink look, so I'm going with Berry Burst. That's why I went with the Berry Burst mat on this card. And we'll get a little bit of glue here. Now you can use Stampin' Seal if you prefer that. I have a heck of a time lining my panels up properly. I need that wiggle room with the glue. When I use Stampin' Seal to put panels together, I don't know what it is. I just have this thing. And sometimes I can get it straight and sometimes I can't. And I'm just looking for an equal reveal all around that panel. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on our card front. Now, a little trick that I like to use so because this needs to lift up, that means we're only going to apply glue to the bottom portion of this panel. So what I like to do is I'm going to close my card base. I'm going to kind of line up how that panel is going to sit on my card. And I'm just going to take a pencil. And hello, Darla. Thanks for joining. Good to see you. So my score line, I can see it. You probably can't. But my score line's right there. And I'm just going to kind of make a pencil mark so that I do not put glue above those two little pencil lines. If we get it above that line, then our easel's not going to work very well. So I've got it just on the bottom portion, double checking before I glue it to the bottom portion here of our card base, our card front. And again, I love the liquid glue for the wiggle room. And that looks good to me. We'll get that put down. Darla, what part of the country are you from? We're kind of represented from all over the place right now. I'm on the East Coast. Rosie's out in South Dakota. Faith is in California. Sharon's in Texas. Let us know where you're watching from. So, as you can see, that's going to be our little easel card. All right. So, you'll be happy to know that I did pre-assemble many of the little flowers here. 6 of these flowers are going to be glued around our front sentiment here. Oh, you're in Texas as well. Awesome. You're from the same town as Sharon. So you guys must know each other. But I thought I would share with you just how I put these together. So I actually I cut 3 layers of these flowers. I cut a strip of Berry Burst from the larger flower, a strip of Peach Pie from the larger flower, and then 1 strip from Pretty in Pink from these smaller flowers. This die cuts out 8 flowers at one time, so it's awesome. Oh, okay, great. Thanks so much for joining. So I do have 3 layers here, and I'm going to adhere a Peach Pie flower to a larger Berry Burst flower, and I'm going to offset those petals. You know, I did this differently this morning. Let me get a hold of this without getting glue on myself. I'm going to actually put that in my hand. It was easier to line up the little petals that way. All right, there we go. Whoops. And it wants to slip, of course. There we go. And the reason I did the layers was that the Peach Pie kind of was getting lost against this Peach Pie background. So that Berry Burst kind of just offers a little bit of contrast. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some very small drops of, oh, book club, how fun. And coffee, you have a coffee club? Oh, I'm envious. That sounds awesome. Coffee club would be, well, book club combined with coffee club would be awesome. All right. And then I'm going to offset the petals again and just put that Pretty in Pink flower right in the center there. So it actually whoops. Looks like it needs to be a little more centered. There we go. All right, I'm going to set that guy off to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and work on getting my flowers glued here around around the perimeter of my card. And I kind of just, I kind of glued about half of the flower onto the sentiment label. So I'm just applying some glue to just the bottom half of each of these flowers. And we'll get them glued around on the upper left and lower right of the sentiment label. Just kind of like that. Just thought it was a pretty decoration, something different. And then I'm going to go to the opposite corner here and get her little flowers glued down on the other side. Saturdays at your house, Sharon. I wish I lived closer, honestly. That sounds like a lot of fun. Alrighty. If I joined a book club, I would never get anything done. I would never get anything done. Because once I start a book, I usually can't put it down. All right, so we have our outside sentiment ready to go. I'm going to cap that glue here for just a minute. Now, on my original card, hop on a plane and be there Friday night. No, I don't do sleepovers. So on my original card, I used some of this silver and white sheer ribbon. And it is very sheer, right? It's kind of a webbing in between silver threads. It's very beautiful. And what I did with this ribbon was that I used the dark shade of a Berry Burst Stampin' Blend, and I colored the ribbon with the blend. And I like it, but to me, I wanted some contrast, and it did provide the contrast, but it's kind of looking, I don't know, off. The color is looking off to me. So I thought for this card, instead, I would give a go at the Petal Pink and White Diagonal Trim. That comes in a combo pack. This ribbon is beautiful. And I think it's 1/4" ribbon. And so for this card, I think I'm going to go ahead and just use some of this. 2 book clubs. You're killing me. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just apply some Stampin' Seal here to the middle of my card front, right smack in the middle, hopefully. Alrighty. And I'm going to go ahead and, now I want the pretty side of this ribbon to show. So I'm going to kind of fold the ends over like that. And we'll get it put down here on our card front. Just like that. Alrighty. And I think I did pretty good getting it in the center. And then our little sentiment label is going to get popped up on Stampin' Dimensionals right over the top of that ribbon. And I am going to trim that ribbon up here in just a moment. But we'll get our sentiment label put on. And the inside of the card, and yeah, we're pretty much done. So this actually was, after you get the die cutting done, this was a quick card to make. And let me get another dimensional down here. Whoops, got a whole bunch there that time. And I think that will be enough to support that. Let me stick my dimensionals over there. They're sticking to my fingers. And we'll go ahead and get this put down. Yeah, we'll invite Mary, and Mary is busy getting ready for her trip. Lucky duck. That lucky duck. Sounds like a wonderful trip they're going to have. All right. And again, I'm just going to kind of use my grid paper to line my card up so that I can use the center line going this way. And try to get my sentiment as centered as possible and get the sentiment straight. And that looks pretty good to me. Let me grab my ribbon scissors. The more the merrier. I love it. Bet you guys have fun. That's great. Go ahead and give my ribbon ends a trim here. And I'm going to cut one just slightly shorter than the other. There we go. All right. And then we can go ahead and get our inside panel put in the card. And this panel, I want to say it measures 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 by 2 5/8. 5 by 2 5/8, sorry. And we're going to go ahead and just get this put up in the upper corner. And I am looking for an equal reveal on the left, top, and right of that panel. So we don't see it from the card front. Hopefully I've got that good. Make sure that's stuck down and doesn't slide on me. I'm not real keen on flying that much. I've done some flying, but I could take it or leave it, to be honest with you. All right. And we're going to go ahead and get our card inside of our card put in. And again, looking for that equal reveal all the way around that mat and our card base. And that looks good to me. And we're going to go ahead and get our sentiment label. Now this sentiment label, yeah, I put this about a little less than a quarter. Whoops, don't want to glue that. I don't want to glue that. Put the glue back. I need to get some dimensionals here. I'm going to go ahead and get some dimensionals on our sentiment label. Get a few more. I'm going to kind of load up on the dimensionals for this little easel stop, just so we have some good support under that label. Alrighty. And then again, I'm going to line up on my grid paper. And I know that 8 inches there is my center point. And go ahead and try to get this label on as centered as I can. And that looks pretty good. I've got less than a quarter of an inch there at the bottom, but that's going to work out just fine. That works perfectly. But I do want to add, you know, before I put these on, let me do one other thing first. I've got some rhinestone basic jewels here. I thought I was out, and I found a pack, so yay for that. But I'm going to take a berry burst stamp and blend, and I am going to color in 8 of the small rhinestones. So 8. And I'm using the bullet tip to color these in, but I do want to give them just a minute to dry. They dry really fast. I love this technique of coloring rhinestones. It's because you can match your projects using the Stampin' blends to color them, you know, and then they match perfectly. And every card needs some bling, right? 4, 5, 6, so 2 more of the small ones. Seems like a lot. Whoops, that one got away from me. I don't know if I can save them. Then I'm going to do one of the medium ones and color that as well. Let me see if I can rescue this this rhinestone that got away from me. If it didn't stick, it didn't stick. Okay, we're good. Alrighty. Need to get it back there on the paper. Just give those a minute to dry. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little flower. Oh, thanks, Rosie. Appreciate it. Hey, now. Thanks for joining. I didn't see you pop in. Did you just join? Whoops. A little too much glue there. I'm going to dab some of that off. And I'm just going to put a little flower on each side of the sentiment label, just because I can. I had a total of 8 flowers and I wanted to use them up. Thought they were cute. And just want to make sure that I'm getting those on there evenly. And then we can put our rhinestones on and we're done. So our little rhinestones are going to decorate the centers of our flowers here. I thought it looked so pretty to give them little sparkly centers. And there's a little cutout hole. Now you could certainly try to salvage those little cutouts, you know, when you're die cutting them, but I didn't. I didn't try to save all those little tiny cutouts on the centers of the flowers. But you certainly could do a contrasting color if you were that ambitious. I wasn't. I'm like, no, I'm not saving those little bits. Whoops, get in the middle there. All right, I see a little excess glue here. All right, I got that cleaned off, that's good. And we'll get our remaining rhinestones here put on the card front. So right now, the last chance product sale is on. You can save up to 60% off of retiring items from the outgoing annual catalog and the mini catalog that's retiring at the end of April. So if you haven't checked that out yet, be sure to check that out. Stuff is selling out. Products are selling out. So if you want something, you know, I suggest you grab it now. I forgot I had these two little die cut leaves, and I want to go ahead and tuck these over here on the other side of our card. So we'll go ahead and get those on, and we will be done. And again, I mentioned earlier, but if you want to know how you can get your hands on some of the new incoming products before May 1st, reach out to me at inkybeestampers@gmail.com. I would love to have you join the team. If you join, you'll be able to add new products to your starter kit, and you'll get them early before anybody else, and then you'll save 20%, up to 20% off on future orders. So think about that. It's a good deal. And we have the most awesome team. We really do. We have an awesome team, a lot of fun, very supportive, no pressure. So if that's something you're thinking about, you know, please reach out to me. So that is, I think, we've got one more little thing here, and then we're done, almost done. But I have a piece of little strip of paper. Now that is the Summer Splash. If it was, I'd consider using it if it was the Shy Shamrock, but it's Summer Splash. So we're going to go with the flower side here on our envelope. Yeah, I like the rhinestone centers as well. And I love that little trick of coloring the rhinestones with the Stampin' blends, just because I think it looks so pretty. And I love that you can coordinate with your projects. Alrighty. Here we go. So I think we're just getting a brief rain shower. We've had so much rain this spring. We've had a lot of rain. I saw a video yesterday. Dubai was flooding. How crazy is that? Like, they got over 6 inches of rain in like one day. And it was like more than I think they ever get in their rainy season, you know, combined. But it had flooded their airports and streets, and yeah, it looked like a mess. I know, Sharon, I don't know if it's where you are, but I know portions of Texas can get big dumps of rain all at one time. Alrighty. So there is our finished card. We have a pretty little easel card made with the Unbounded Beauty suite of products. It's a very simple card and not too much time to put together. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Join me next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Oh, you tried coloring pearls, but it didn't work well. I have tried coloring other items as well now, and I've not had success, but the rhinestones definitely work out. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate you joining, and I will see you next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Have a great day. Bye-bye.